Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to OET Writing Live session presented by Tiju Academy, and my name is Ishwarya. Yes, hi, everyone. Very good evening. Good evening. Yes, Rinku, Tessie. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hi, everyone. Yes, Rinku Mariam. Good evening, and welcome to our session. To everyone, actually, not only for Rinku but for Neetu. Good evening, everyone. All right, Suja. Yes, Suja, good to see you back. Jisha Kunil, Ben C. Johnson, Deepti, Joseph, Mitali, Priya, Alma Thomas, Deepti, Sunil Kumar, Ashley Jose, Himanshi. Yes, very good evening, everyone. Shiji, yes. Hi, Shiji. Selmi Jacob. Yes. How you people are doing? Yes. Manju, Mary, Matthew. Good evening, Manju. I hope you're doing good. Rency Justin, Shinoy John, Julie Sani, Renju Varghese, Deepti Sunil Kumar. Yes, I'm really glad to know that you people are faring good. Okay, yeah. Doing good. Yes, Manju, I'm also doing good. Thank you so much for asking. I'm also doing extremely good. Josna Siju, yes, Binju Babu, good evening, Binju, and how are you? I'm also doing good, and I hope you're also faring well. Okay. Bincy Johnson. Okay, you are attending for the very first time. Okay, so thank you so much. Welcome to the club. I would say welcome to Tijus family, and I personally welcome you to OET Writing Live session presented by Tijus Academy. And by the way, my name is Aishwarya, and I'm happy to hear that new members are joining to our session. Yes, lovely birds. Good evening, Suja. Getting good. Yes, Arya Chinchu. Hi, everyone. So, those who are watching our session for the very first time, I would suggest you or I would request you people to watch our previous lives also, where we dealt with the structure and the construction of an OET letter in a very proper manner. So, if you people are okay, if you could, you can watch our previous session also. That will give you a very fine idea regarding our letter. And anyway, today we are dealing with a brand new letter, OET letter case not. Okay, so by listening to this particular session also, you will get a very decent idea regarding the OET letter and its construction. Yes, Josna Siju is also attending for the very first time. Yes, thank you so much, Josna, for joining. And welcome to OET Writing Live session. Not only for Josna, but for all the viewers out there. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരെ ഞാൻ എടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞില്ല എന്ന് വേറൊന്നും കൊണ്ടല്ല. I know you people are regular viewers and you people are constantly being with me for the past couple of months. വളരെ രണ്ട് മൂന്ന് കുറച്ച് മാസങ്ങളായിട്ട് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ റെഗുലറായിട്ട് വ്യൂസ് ലൈവ് സെഷനിൽ വരാറുള്ള ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത്. So I am wholeheartedly grateful. I would like to say thank you for those people, those who are constantly being in touch with us through the live session, and I really appreciate their constant participation, and I welcome the new participants as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Sarida Gobi, good evening. Shima Vichako, Mantali, Jisna, Jiju, Alija, Shija, Kidnil, Josna Siju. Okay, Archana. Yes, Archana, good evening. Yes, so I am Okay, yeah. I'm just taking my couple of initial minutes so that our regular participants can join our session, right? എല്ലാവർക്കും നമ്മൾ റെഗുലറായിട്ട് വരുന്ന എല്ലാ ആൾക്കാർക്കും ഒരു സെഷൻ ഒന്ന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രമാണ് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഇനീഷ്യൽ സെക്കൻഡ്സ് കുറച്ച് ഇനീഷ്യൽ മിനിറ്റ്സ് ഐ എം ജസ്റ്റ് ടേക്കിംഗ് മൈ ഇനീഷ്യൽ കപ്പിൾ ഓഫ് മിനിറ്റ്സ് ഓക്കെ സോ താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് എവറി വൺ ഫോർ ബീങ് ഹിയർ ഫോർ യുവർ കോൺസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഐ എം റിയലി happy to have an interaction with you people through this live platform. Yes, we people are sitting different part of the world, but we are getting an opportunity of to have an interaction through this live platform. There are people, those who are, I'm really glad with the fact that my offline students are also joining the session and my online students are also joining here. And there are many people, those who are watching our live session for the past couple of months and they are joining for the offline session also here. So thank you so much for everyone. And yes, Prema, hi Prema, you are from Nepal. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here first of all. Yes, I know you have been with me for the past couple of lives also. I know your name and I'm really glad. So I welcome you to our OET writing live session. Okay, happy to see you, Jomet. Yeah, happy to see you as well. Here, Anuja, Ani, Sumi, Manchu, Sony, Tujo. Yes, very good evening everyone. All right. So I hope you people are having a very great day. It's 5:40 in the evening here in India. So I hope you people are our day is not ended so far. Our day is still going on. So I hope you people are having a very good day so far. And most importantly, your preparation is going on in a very full-fledged. And I'm really glad and I really appreciate, I'm grateful towards the people because the students, those who are our current students are also joining our session. Our previous students, those who are passed out and അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആൾക്കാരും നമ്മുടെ ലൈവ് സെഷനിൽ വരാറുണ്ട്. And from different part of the world, even from different countries, from Nepal also the people are joining us. So thank you so much everyone. So I really wish our humble attempt to provide you people with some kind of knowledge will help you to crack this examination at the earliest. So I genuinely wish from my bottom of my heart also. So thank you so much everyone for your constant participation. So without wasting much time, let's begin our today's writing live session that is presented by Tiju Sir Academy, and this is Aishwarya. Okay. So here is the case note for you people. So today I brought you people with a different case note and I am going to give a discussion regarding this particular case note and I will ask your participation, or I personally want you people to help me with the construction of this letter. I'll ask you questions and you people can make use of this comment box to comment so that you people can definitely construct this particular letter. So basically I'm asking for your help or asking for your participation to construct this proper letter. Okay, this letter in a very proper manner. But before that I will explain this letter for your understanding. I hope you people are ready. Are you guys ready for that? Shall we begin our today's session? Yes, Anila. Hey, Ayana. Good evening, Lima, Matthew, Manchusoni, Anila. Yes, very good evening, everyone, and welcome to our session. Yes, I am glad. Yes, thank you so much for your response, guys. Okay, so here we'll begin our very first letter. Read the case note below and complete the writing task which follows. Okay, so this is the case note provided here. So the name of this patient is Mrs. Jane LaPaglia. So the name is provided here. Mrs. Jane, this is how we can address the patient. Yes, thank you so much everyone for your response. I'm glad that you people are ready. Okay, let's begin our today's letter discussion. Okay, so the name is Mrs. Jane LaPaglia, age 71, cultural and regional data, Italian and Catholic, speaks functional English, which means she's able to speak English for the communication purpose, for the functional purpose, for the communicative English. So she's okay with the communication purpose. So name is provided there, age is provided there, cultural and religious data, Italian and Catholic, speaks functional English. Admission date is provided, that is 4th March 2011. Admission date എന്താണ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്, that is 4th March 2011, Prince Albert Hospital. Discharge date, that is 28th April 2011. Discharge date is also provided. So here you people can see the admission date is on 4th March And the patient got discharged on 28th April, which means almost 2 months of hospitalization for this particular patient. This is how we can analyze the data in a very basic manner. So the name is provided, age is provided, cultural and religious data is provided, admission date is provided, discharge date is provided, and from the admission and discharge date we got an idea that this patient is having a hospitalization of almost 2 months. If a patient is hospitalized for almost 2 months, this is not going to be a very normal or simple case. Okay, that is the very first idea that we can collect it. And when it comes to the diagnosis, here I want you people to give a very you have to concentrate. I want your concentration here, especially with the diagnosis. Renal failure of second degree to dehydration. Renal failure of second degree to dehydration. That is one thing, right? And the second thing, that is mild dementia. The patient is having mild dementia. And the third one, that is pneumonia. So the patient is currently having pneumonia. That is the diagnosis. There are 3 diagnoses over here. Renal failure, second degree to dehydration, second degree renal failure to dehydration, mild dementia, and pneumonia. So there are 3 diagnoses provided here. Okay, I hope you got an idea. So adine endu cheyyuka, just brainstorm yourself. Nammade mind il ingane case note nammal exam nu vaayikkumbodum, when you are reading the case note while in your exact OET exam also, things has to be worked in our brain. Nammade brain il adu ingane payye nammal work cheyidondirikkanam. Appo ivide endella manasilayi oru long duration of hospitalization undu. When it comes to this diagnosis, there are 3 conditions mentioned here. Renal failure is there, mild dementia is there, pneumonia is there. Okay, so this is a basic idea regarding the patient. Now straight away go to the writing task. What we can do is straight away go to the writing task. And here is the writing task. You are the charge nurse in the medical ward where Mrs. Lapagalia has spent most of her hospital stay as a patient. So what is our designation? So can you guys please tell me what is our designation? Nammulla designation enthana? Yes, our dear Bindu ma'am is here as usual. Thank you so much, Bindu ma'am, for your constant support and for always being here. Okay, charge nurse. Yes, I know where you are currently, and thank you so much for supporting from there as well. Okay, so you are the charge nurse in the medical ward where Mrs. Lapagalia has spent most of her hospital stay as a patient. Yes, very good, guys. Shiji, Tojo, Elijah, Dinny, Matthew, Kavi, Praveen, yes, Arya, Jinchu, Achama, Drency, Jisha, Veena, Divya, Jyotimol, Jisna. Yes, very good, guys. Charge nurse, that is our designation. And using the information in the case note, write a discharge letter. So what type of letter it is? Write a discharge letter. Okay, so what type of letter? So these are the basic things that we have to understand or analyze when we get a case note. Our designation is charge nurse and the type of letter is discharge letter to the charge nurse at Boronia Nursing Home, Hugi, where Mrs. Jane Lapagalia will be discharged to from your ward. Yes, exactly. This is going to be a discharge letter. Yes, and yes, very good, guys. I am reading all your reader also charge nurse. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we are writing our letter to another charge nurse. Yeah, discharge letter, exactly. Reader is also a charge nurse and the writer is also a charge nurse, and we are writing a discharge letter from one charge nurse to another charge nurse. Okay, and Anu, hi Anu, hi Anu, how are you doing? I hope you are doing very great. And New Zealand, as I mentioned, yes, people those who are completed their course and migrated to their dream destination is also joining our session. So thank you so much for that as well. Okay, yeah, so transfer letter, discharge letter. Yes, this is write a discharge letter. So this is a discharge letter. Okay, and then another discharge letter. We can take it as a discharge letter, right? A discharge letter. That is what they requested as, right? Okay. Reader also charge nurse, exactly. And the address of the reader is the charge nurse at Boronia Nursing Home. And the place is Kugi, where Mrs. Jane will be discharged to from your ward. So this particular person is currently in hospital, and after the discharge, they will be shifting to a nursing home. So we are writing the letter to the charge nurse of that particular due to dehydration. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So I hope you people got an idea. Okay. Discharge letter to the charge nurse. Yes, Manchu, Jijo, yes, very good. So we got an idea who is our nurse also, and the destination is nursing home. The patient is getting discharged and going to a nursing home. So that is what this patient is going also. So now analyze the case note in a very detailed manner. So when it comes to this case note, we identified some basic details regarding the patient. Patientine kurichu nammal endu cheyidu, we identified the basic details. And when it comes to the social history, so let's see the social history now. Lives with 80-year-old husband or carrier Joe in a 4-bedroom unit. So lives with 80-year-old husband. So where he lives, she lives with her husband in a 4-bedroom unit. Joe not coping with patient or his own care need. So basically, the husband is not properly taking care of the wife. Wife-ine nalladayittu husband nokkanilla. House filthy. Both have poor hygiene and nutrition. House endana filthy means dirty. That is not unclean. And both have poor hygiene and nutrition. And they have one son, Andrew, a mechanic, visits Tuesday and Sunday. There is one. They are having one son. They have one son. Avarku oru kutti undu, and he is a mechanic by profession and visits only on Tuesday and Sunday. Interests include classical music, ballet, and Eiffel. So that's the interest of the patient. So when it comes to social history, she lives with her husband, and the husband is not that keen about the patient health, and the house and everything seems to be very unclean, and they have a son, visits only on Tuesday and Sunday, and the interested activities of the patient include music, ballet, and AFL. Okay, that's about the social history of the patient. Let's move on to the next part. Medical history and medication. See doctor's notes to be forwarded. So for the medical history, and this is something that is provided, the doctor's note will be forwarded along with the letter. Management and progress during hospitalization. So admission date is provided. That is on 4th March 2011. And management and progress during hospitalization. What happened with the patient during the hospitalization time? Initially comatose. Initially, the patient was in a coma stage, I would say. Patient admission വന്നപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കാം ഇനീഷ്യലി ഒരു comatose conditionലാണ്. Ventilated in ICU 7/7. 7/7 means 7 days in a week. So for a single week, for 1 week, the patient was in ventilation. ICU was provided ventilation facility. Yes, so initially the patient was in coma stage, and therefore admitted directly to the ICU and in ventilation for 1 week. 7/7 means 1 week, exactly. 7 days in a week, and 7 out of 7 means an entire 1 week. Given dialysis, 3/52. So everyone will be having some sort of confusion. What is this 52 and all? Actually, for your understanding, those who don't have any idea. So I wanted to ask you people, what is this 52? 3/52 means, yes, does anyone, if you have any idea, can you please comment me on the comment box? I will explain it, by the way. So I just want to ask you, 3/52. 3/52 is not days. 3/52. Weeks, exactly. There are 52. Yes, very good. Achama, Dev, yes, Dineka, Jisna, Noble. Yes, very good, guys. 52. There are 52 weeks in a year. Or a year, there are 52 weeks. So, given dialysis. So, dialysis was provided for 3 weeks. That is what is mentioned there. So, what we have to understand from this particular area is given dialysis for 3 weeks. During the hospitalization for 3 weeks, we provided them with dialysis. Yes, exactly. Very good, guys. Yeah, I'm really glad you all know many things regarding OET letter. Okay, and urea and creatine are stable now. So currently, their urea and creatine are stable. Stable. And this is something that we have to be are very conscious about. When the patient was brought to the hospital or during the admission time, the patient was in comatose situation or in coma state. Okay, so yes, Manu, 52, that is 52 weeks in a year. So 3 by 52 means 3 weeks. Okay, yeah. I hope you understand now. Yes. And urine and creatinine are stable now. Hospital acquired pneumonia. So what happened with the patient during the hospitalization? This patient had hospital acquired pneumonia. Patient in endundai hospital acquired pneumonia undai. And chest physio was provided for 2 by 52. So now can you please tell me what is 2 by 52? So I hope you people got an idea regarding what is this now. We have provided chest physio for 2 by 52. Yes, Manu, I hope you got an idea now. So can you please tell me what is this 2 by 52 then? So we provided chest physio for, yes, very good guys, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, for 2 weeks we provided chest physio. Okay, and still requiring O2 2 liter via nasal prongs. So the next part is the patient still required oxygen O2 for 2 weeks, 2 liter via nasal prong, but non-infective for 3 weeks. Okay, so the patient is not having any infection or something. Everything is fine. But still the patient requires, even after providing chest physio and everything, the patient still require O2 at 2 liter. Okay, and confusion post ICU, but now back to usual mild level and is quite settled. So post ICU, after shifting from ICU, the patient might have shifted to the ward by this time. So the patient is having confusion, but now back to usual mild level, which means she is having mild dementia or mild level of confusion, and is quite settled, almost normal. So needs prompting means encouragement. Needs prompting to eat, drink, dress, walk, toilet, and tend to personal hygiene, but can independently do this. So the patient is capable of doing everything. Or we can mention all these things as ADL if you want to. ADL is activities of daily living. So basically the patient needs encouraging for all activities of daily living. Okay, and tend to be, but can independently, but she is able to do it independently. The only thing that a patient requires is encouragement. Patient in Endumadi prompting means encouragement. Okay, and the family conference was conducted on 25th March 2011. Patient got discharged on 28th April, which means 25th March is during the hospitalization time itself, and the conscious decision. And after this family conference, they took the decision that patient will move to nurse home and Joe will live in adjoining hostel, nil beds for either till 28. Okay, so the thing is, the patient will be shifted to nursing home and her husband will be living in an adjoining hostel because they don't have any bed till 28. പേഷ്യൻറ്റിന് ഹസ്ബൻഡിനെ കൂടെ എന്താണ് അക്കോമഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടോ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ബെഡ് ഫെസിലിറ്റി അവിടെ ഇല്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് patient will live she will be shifted to nursing home and the Joe will live in adjoining hostel. Okay, this is about the medical scenario. So the patient was initially brought in a coma situation and was in ventilated into ICU for a week, and after that we provided dialysis and the urea and creatinine level became stable, and during hospitalization the patient acquired conscious means agreement. Conscience means agreement. I hope it is clear. The consent decision means agreement. What's the decision? Actually, they had a family conference, right? So after the discussion between the family and the medical professional, they came to an agreement that is what it's meaning. That is what it's meant. Okay? Patient will move to nursing home. I hope it is clear, Shinan. Shall we move on to the next part of the letter? Yes. Okay. Now, what's the discharge plan? Transfer to a nursing home. So after the discharge, the patient will transfer to a nursing home and the husband will live in hostel next door, both accepting of this. So the patient will be in the nursing home, the husband will be living in a nearby hostel. and continue the O2 therapy as per OT saturation. So what we have to provide is an O2 therapy as per O2 saturation. And encourage independence. So what we have to do, the next thing is encourage independence. Patient is capable of self-care with prompting, which means the patient is able to do his activities all by herself through encouragement. So we have to encourage the patient. Then only she will be doing everything and she is capable of doing it independently. Okay. Ensure adequate hydration. The next thing is ensure adequate hydration to prevent renal function, and there is a small down arrow over here. So the renal function has become normal, right? Renal function എന്തായിട്ടുണ്ട് normal ആയിട്ടുണ്ട് because urea and creatinine are stable now. So the renal function has become normal, but in order to stabilize the situation, or in order to prevent it from getting worse, that is why they provided a down arrow for the renal function. We have to ensure adequate hydration. And the next task is repeat electrolyte, urea and creatinine blood test weekly. Electrolyte, urea and creatinine blood test, we can either call it as UEC test weekly. So what are the tasks provided here? The husband will be living in the hostel next door. That is not something. Transferring the patient to the nursing home, that is also fine. So there are 4 things that we have to be very careful in the discharge plan. Continue the oxygen therapy as per O2 saturation. The patient kindly encourage the patient for independent living and ensure adequate hydration to prevent the worsening of renal function. And repeat this UEC test weekly. So these are the things, or these are the plan that has to be done for the patient. These are the 4 plans that has to be done by the reader for the patient. I hope it is clear. All right. And with the writing task, then you are the charge nurse in the medical ward where Mrs. Lapegalia has spent most of her hospital stay as a patient. Using the information in the case note, write a discharge letter to the charge nurse at Boronia Nursing Home, Coogee, where Mrs. Jane Pagalia will be discharged to from your ward. I hope you people understood the letter. So understanding of a case note is very much basic for OET. So is that clear for you? And iduvare parna karyangala ningalku clear aano? Shall we proceed with the construction of the letter? Are you guys ready for that? Is there any doubt regarding the condition? Anything related to the letter? Yes. Okay, yeah. Only yes. Chama, Sindhu, Deepthi, yes, very good. Yes, Tommy. Good evening, everyone. All right, yes, Salmi, okay. 2 weeks. Yes, very good, guys. Ma'am, can we use the abbreviation in the letter? Yes, when it comes to abbreviation, the rule that is provided by the OET is, see, you people can use standard abbreviation. Standard abbreviation means abbreviations that are accepted in an international level, internationally acclaimed abbreviations. For example, ECT, MRI, CT scan, X-ray. So those kind of standard abbreviation can be used in an OET letter. But there is a condition for that. The condition is, if you people are confident that the reader will be familiar with the abbreviation, you can use the abbreviation. Okay? Suppose, for example, what I should say, ECT. What is ECT? Electroconvulsive therapy. ECT is electroconvulsive therapy, right? So if you are writing it to a social worker, if you are writing a letter to a social worker, it is not necessary that the social worker will be familiar with ECT. So on that context, what you can do is, you have to go for the full form. On the other hand, if you are writing the same letter to a psychiatrist or to a psychologist, they will be familiar with the ECT. So we can go for abbreviation on that context. Okay? I hope it is clear, guys. Okay, yeah, yes, Shiji, Manchu, Mita, hi, how are you? Yes, Papa, live music channel. Good evening, everyone. And yes, Gigi, I hope I have addressed your question. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear to you as well. Okay, so let's begin our letter. So what's the very basic thing that we have to start? How we are supposed to start the letter? എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ letter start ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? Okay, so what's the very first? Can we write cursive letter? Yes, cursive letter. The main thing is what OET is telling us, it has to be legible. അതെന്തായിരിക്കണം? Legible ആയിരിക്കണം. Legible means readable. വായിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്ക് ക്ലിയർ ആയിരിക്കണം. Okay, that we have to be focused on. Okay, yes, exactly. So what we have to start, how we are now, we with your cooperation I'm going to develop this particular letter. Okay, so with your cooperation I'm going to develop this letter. And why I'm asking for your cooperation is, see, when you go for your OET examination also, you will be all alone there, right? നിങ്ങൾ അവിടെ ഒറ്റയ്ക്കായിരിക്കും എക്സാമിൻ്റെ സമയത്ത്. So you and your case note will be the only thing that will be in front of you. So you, on that situation also, I want you people to be capable enough to analyze the letter by yourself. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ ലെറ്റർ നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഓരോരുത്തരും എന്തായിരിക്കണം? കേപ്പബിൾ ആയിരിക്കണം വെൻ യു ഗോ ഫോർ ദ എക്സാമിനേഷൻ. Okay, so that's why I'm asking your participation to construct a letter. So I hope you people got an idea how to analyze a case note. Now with your participation I'm going to develop this particular letter. So as you people mentioned, the very first thing is there should be a letterhead date. There should be a letterhead date. And what is the letterhead date that we can take from this context? The letterhead date here is, and this admission date is provided, discharge date is provided. So what is the letter? What's the letterhead date that we have to go for? Yes, Josna. Yes, that is fine. No issues. Cursive writing, yeah. Exact. It has to be legible. That's the only condition, okay? അത് റീഡബിൾ ആയിരിക്കണം നമ്മുടെ ഹാൻഡ് റൈറ്റിംഗ്. അതിന് നമുക്ക് കുഴപ്പമില്ല. സോ സ്മോൾ ലെറ്റർ ആവാം, കർസീവ് ആവാം, നോ ഇഷ്യൂസ്. Okay, yes, everyone has mentioned relevant abbreviation. Ma'am, please provide some relevant abbreviations next class. Yeah, sure. I will include that kind of thing. Okay, no worries. Thank you, Mita, for your suggestion. So if you people can suggest something that you wanted to see or me to present in the next session, you can do it in the comment section, okay? So in the next session, for both speaking and writing, I'll include those things in my session. And anyway, I have prepared something else for you people, but I'm not going to disclose it, okay? So keep watching our live session. I'm in the disclose cheyyunnilla. I am prepared something very interesting for you, okay? Yes. Not yes, definitely interesting. Something helpful for you, okay? Yes. സോ ഞാനതിനെ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയി തോന്നിയില്ല എങ്കിലോ, ബട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ ആവുന്ന കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, വി ആർ ആക്ച്വലി വർക്കിംഗ് ഓൺ ദാറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ് നീഡ്സ് സം ടൈം. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു, പയ്യെ അതും ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഐ വിൽ ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് സം റെലവൻറ്റ് അബ്രിവേഷൻസ് ഇൻ മൈ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്. ഷുവർ. Date reader, yes, everyone is commanding on the session. Yes, very good, guys. So the very first thing that we have to go for it, the letterhead date. And the letterhead date that we have to choose is discharge date. Here the admission date and discharge date both are provided. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, we have to choose the discharge date, because on the day of discharge we are writing this letter, right? Not on the admission day we are shifting the patient to another place. This is happening on the discharge day. So the letterhead date is that we are supposed to follow is discharge date. And everyone has mentioned the discharge date here, but I would like to make a correction on the discharge date format that you have chosen. That is, I will write the right usage 28 April 2011. So you don't need to write this TH thing, 28th. അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ എഴുതേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. You don't need to write that. Simply go for 28 in numerical, April in words, and A should be in capital letter, and the year in numerical. Okay, that should be the right usage. So I am just making the correction commonly, so please do take it, okay? And that's the adendana letterhead date. After the letterhead date, we have to go for the reader's address. So reader's address, I will show it to you people. So everyone, I request you people to comment on the comment section so that I can do the corrections as well. എനിക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റും, നിങ്ങളുടെ corrections എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, if there is any correction I can do it as well as here. So I have provided the writing task. So I want you people to construct the reader's address. Okay, dear charge nurse or nurse, dear charge nurse. Yeah, since it's a very small one, you can better to go with charge nurse. Dear nurse is not also wrong. It's not wrong actually. Charge nurse, Begonia Nursing Home, Hogi. Yes, very good, guys. But tell me, when you write the charge nurse, T C and N should be in capital letter. The T should be capital letter. In the article, the T should be in capital letter. And the charged nurse part, C and N should be in capital letter. And since they haven't provided the name of the reader, റീഡറിൻ്റെ പേര് ഒന്നും തരാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ വരണം? The വെച്ചിട്ട് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യണം. We have to start the address part with the article the plus designation. So the charge nurse, Bronia Nursing Home. Yes, only yes, whatever you have done is good, but you have to add an article the in front of the charge nurse. It has to be like the charge nurse, Bronia Nursing Home, and you have to mention the place also, Hui. Okay? And Shiji, the charge nurse, Bronia Nursing Home should be in the next line and Hui should be in the next line. Okay, yes. I hope you people got an idea. Yes, Neetu, C and N should be in capital letter. Alright, so this is how we are supposed to write the address of the reader. So we mentioned the date, then the reader's address, and the next part is salutation. So can you please tell me what's the salutation here? Salutation can be start with? Yes, very good everyone. Dear charge nurse. Yes, dear charge nurse will be the right usage of salutation. Dear nurse is also possible, but since charge nurse is a very quite small one, you can go for charge nurse. Okay, dear charge nurse. Clear, guys? So Rajeshwari, Neetu, yes, very good. Dear, when you are writing the charge nurse, C.G. Sebastian, there is no need to add the. Simply go with dear charge nurse. Okay? And Gigi Jacob, if you are putting a comma right after the charge nurse, you have to put it after the ending clause also. Okay? Dear charge nurse. Yes, that's fine. Now I want you people to write the referral line. Please help me with the writing referral line as well. Dear charge nurse, yes, D, C and N should be in capital letter when we are writing dear charge nurse. And now I want you people to write the referral line. Yes, Tojo Alex, Mrs. Jean Paglelia, aged 71 years old. Actually, Tojo, if you are writing aged 71 years old, actually there's a small correction. After the name, you have to put, if you are writing aged, then A should be in small letter. Otherwise, you can go with age, then put a colon, then 71 years old. Okay, I will make it clear. Yes, Rincy Justin, that's the right usage. Mrs. Jane Paglia, aged 71 years. Ma'am, ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഡയറക്ടറിന് സലൂട്ടേഷൻ എഴുതുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഡിയർ സർ ഓർ മാഡം, യെസ് ഫൈൻ, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് അത് തെറ്റല്ല. ഓക്കെ, പിന്നെ ഡയറക്ടർ എന്ന് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ബെറ്റർ എന്താണ് ഡിയർ ഡയറക്ടർ എന്ന് കൊടുക്കുന്നത് തന്നെയാണ്. Dear sir or madam എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത് തെറ്റല്ല. പക്ഷേ dear director will be the most appropriate or the better usage. അപ്പോൾ always go with the better option. Okay? And Neetu referral RE കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് colon. So I will write it here on the screen. I hope you people can see. Either you can go for RE Mrs. Jane. You don't need to put full stop after Mrs. Mrs. കഴിഞ്ഞ് എന്ത് പാടില്ല, full stop പാടില്ല. Mrs. Jane La Paglia, comma, aged 71 years. So aged എഴുതുവാണെങ്കിൽ it should be in small letter and there should be a comma right in front of that. And if you are going for capitalization, then RE Mrs. Jane Paglia, then age colon 71 years old. Okay, this is the right usage. Yes, I'm going through all your messages. Okay, very good, guys. So I hope you follow the right format that I mentioned here on the board, your screen. I have mentioned the right format here on the screen. So please do follow that particular format. Okay. Now we have dealt with the date, reader's address, the salutation, and the referral line as well. Now what we have to go for is the introductory part. Introduction. So how we can construct the introduction for this? Yes. Introduction. What type of letter it is? Discharge letter. So either you can start with I'm writing to Introduce. I'm writing to refer Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires continuing care and management. She was diagnosed with renal failure secondary to rehydration and pneumonia. She is scheduled for discharge today. She was diagnosed with, okay, yes, that is fine. I'm writing to introduce Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires continuing care and monitoring following her discharge to your facility. So, following your discharge to your facility, you don't need to write like that. Monitoring vara കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എന്ത് പറയാം? He or she is ready for discharge. Is being discharged today എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാം. I'm writing to transfer or introduce. But Princey, I would like to tell you that this is not a transfer letter. നമ്മളോട് എന്താ പറഞ്ഞേക്കണേ? Write a discharge letter എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ how we can construct the introduction? I'm writing to introduce എന്ന് നമ്മൾക്ക് പറയാം. I am writing to introduce Mrs. The unknown case ആയതുകൊണ്ട് this is not completely an unknown case, right? It is not a known case. അതുകൊണ്ട് എന്ത് പറയാം? I am writing to introduce Mrs. Jane Pagalia എന്ന് നമ്മൾക്ക് പറയാം. Who requires? So the one thing, we have to identify two purpose word for here, right? So the one thing is continue O2 therapy. That is what is provided. So that can be stated as continuing care or ongoing care. Okay, continuing care or ongoing care. That is something that we can state it here. And the other thing is encouragement. Encouragement, ensure adequate hydration, repeat UEC test weekly. So that is not a management. Rather than I would say you can go for support. There is no need of monitoring here. Monitoring is not provided here. Encourage is provided here. Ensure adequate hydration. We have to make sure. So we can, if you want to, you can call it as support or support. So ongoing care and support would be the right usage. So any other suggestion? Who requires continuing care continuing care or ongoing care or follow-up care and support. That will be the right usage of a purpose word. Okay, so I'm writing to refer Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires not continued, continuing care. Continuing care or ongoing care, both are same. You can use either one of them. I am writing to introduce Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires ongoing care and support. Okay. All right, ongoing care and encouragement. Ongoing care and encouragement, that is also fine. At your facility correct ആണോ? At your facility എന്ന് നമ്മൾ പറയണം എന്നില്ല. Because anyway, I am writing to introduce എന്ന് പറയാണല്ലോ. എന്നിട്ട് എന്ത് ലാസ്റ്റ് പറഞ്ഞാലും മതി. Is being discharged today എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാം. She is being discharged today എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അതിനർത്ഥം അതായിക്കോളാം. At your facility ഇപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നില്ല. Okay, writing to refer Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires continue. There is no need of comma in front of who requires continuing care and support. She is recuperated from renal disease secondary to dehydration. I'm writing to introduce. Okay, so there are different kind of introductions. I hope you people are clear with the purpose word. Purpose word clear ആയി എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. That is continuing care and support. Now I want you people to identify the condition. So everyone is coming up with different condition. So the patient ന് എന്തൊക്കെയുണ്ട്? Renal failure secondary to dehydration. Right? Renal failure secondary to dehydration. So dehydration kondu avarku endundayittundu renal failure. Because of dehydration they are having renal failure. That is one condition. Right? The patient is having renal failure. Recuperating is not outdated. We can use it. But I wanted to see renal failure. So is there any recovery for renal failure? Organ damage vannal renal failure no recovery associate ചെയ്യുന്നതിനേക്കാളും what we can, it's better is അവർക്ക് okay, that is also fine. I will express it in another way, and after that you people tell me what works here. Renal failure secondary to rehydration is here. That dehydration is here. That is one condition. Another condition is mild dementia. Third one is pneumonia. Okay, there are 3 conditions provided here. Exactly. Yes, Papa. No recovery for renal failure. Very good. Yeah. Difference between being discharged and has been discharged. Has been discharged means the patient already discharged. Being discharged, patient is going to get discharged. Miss, I could able to join Westboom. No, it is provided. This is available in our YouTube and Facebook platform, Matukshika. I'm writing to discharge Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires Continuing care and assistance due to multiple ailment. Very good, Ajita. That will be the perfect introduction, I would say. Because see, 1, 2, 3. There are 3, not in Zoom. It is there in Facebook and YouTube. Okay, yeah. Renal failure secondary to dehydration. That is one condition. Another one is mild dementia. And third one is pneumonia. These are the 3 conditions of the patient. Okay, so and here when it comes to here from the discharge plan, O2 therapy, that is there. Encourage independence, capable of self-care with promotion. So he is not capable of doing self-care can be of dementia, and ensure adequate hydration, that is related to the renal condition. And O2 therapy and everything can be related to the pneumonia. So basically the patient is having the discharge plan. The patient requires future care for all 3 conditions. Continue O2 therapy is there. Encourage independence because the patient is having mild dementia. And ensure adequate hydration, that is for the renal condition. And repeat UEC test is also suggested. So basically the patient is having a discharge plan or the future plan for 3 conditions. Which means it's better to mention 3 conditions in the introduction. Is that okay? So what do you people think? ഈ 3 കണ്ടീഷനും ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷനിൽ വരണ്ടേ? 3 കണ്ടീഷനിലും എന്തുണ്ട്? ഈ ഒരു ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ പ്ലാൻ ഡിസ്ചാർജ് പ്ലാനിൽ 3 കണ്ടീഷനിലുള്ള ഫോളോ അപ്പും പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. So someone has mentioned a perfect intro. So what is your suggestion? Ongoing care and support. She has been diagnosed with renal failure secondary to dehydration and is being discharged today. Okay, if you are focusing on renal failure more, then what about mild dementia and pneumonia? Because or other 2 conditions is also having the future plan. I hope it is clear. കാരണം 3 കണ്ടീഷൻ്റെയും കാര്യം ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഡിസ്ചാർജ് പ്ലാനിൽ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. So the future plan, the charge nurse has to take care. The charge nurse of the nursing home has to take care all the 3 conditions. Take care for all the needs to provide care for all the 3 condition. So നമുക്ക് എന്ത് പറയാം? If it would be better. Yes, Ajita, I'm writing to discharge. I'm writing to introduce Mr. Jane Pagalia, who requires continuing care and assistance due to multiple ailments parayam, or due to multiple health condition parayam, or what would be the other suggestion? Ellam kuda namukku parayanengil endu parayam? Multiple ailment. Yes, ennu ezhudamo? Yes, Ajita, that will be okay. And multiple health will be a better choice, I would say. Clear ayo? So introduction engane varum? I am writing to introduce Mrs. Jean Lapaglia, who requires ongoing care and assistance, or ongoing care or support. You can put a full stop there. And endu parayam condition? She has multiple health issues. Yes, very good. She was diagnosed or she has been. Which one is ma'am? Ee oru letteril avarku endundu? 3 conditions undu. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് പറയാം? ഷീ ഹാസ് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഹെൽത്ത് ഇഷ്യൂസ്. ഒന്നിൽ കൂടുതൽ കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ റീനൽ ഫെയിലിയർ പറയുമ്പോൾ ഓർഗൻ ഫെയിലിയർ ആയിട്ട് പിന്നെ റിക്കവറി അതിനോട് പറയാതിരിക്കാം. ന്യൂമോണിയയിൽ നിന്ന് അവർക്ക് റിക്കവറി ഉണ്ടാവാം. മൈൽഡ് ഡിമെൻഷ്യ വന്നാൽ ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ബി സ്റ്റിൽ ദെയർ. അപ്പോൾ എന്താണ്, ഒന്ന് സ്റ്റേബിളായി, ഒന്ന് ഇപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട്, അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? അതുകൊണ്ട് ബെറ്റർ എന്താണ്? ഷീ ഹാസ് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഹെൽത്ത് ഇഷ്യൂസ്. അതുമല്ല 3 കണ്ടീഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. 3നും പ്ലാൻ എവിടെയുണ്ട്? ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് പ്രൊവൈഡഡ് ദെയർ ഇൻ ദി ഡിസ്ചാർജ് പ്ലാൻ. ഐ ഹോപ്പ് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ക്ലിയർ ആയി എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. Because I will explain it one more time. The diagnosis says there are 3 conditions. And for all the 3 conditions, the discharge plan, the plan is provided in the discharge plan. So for all the 3 conditions, the care is provided in the follow-up care is provided in the discharge plan, which means all the 3 conditions are equally important. And renal failure means there is some kind of organ damage, I would say. Mild dementia, if dementia is there won't be a recovery, right? Pneumonia അവിടെ റിക്കവർ ആകാം. ഡിമെൻഷ്യ വിൽ ബി സ്റ്റിൽ ദെയർ. സോ യു കാൻ അസോസിയേറ്റ് റിക്കവറി ഫോർ ഓൾ ദ 3 സിറ്റുവേഷൻ. സോ ഒരു വളരെ ഫ്ലെക്സിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സജസ്റ്റീവ് ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് പറയാം? ഷീ ഹാസ് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഹെൽത്ത് ഇഷ്യൂസ്. ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ബി എ പോസിബിൾ ലീസ്റ്റ് ഡാമേജിങ് വൺ, റൈറ്റ്? ഡ്യൂ ടു മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഹെൽത്ത് ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ഓൾസോ ഫൈൻ. യെസ്. who requires ongoing care and assistance due to multiple health ailments. That is also fine. Okay. So that's about the introduction. I'm writing to introduce Mrs. Jane Pagalia, who requires ongoing care and assistance for multiple health ailments. That is fine. Or multiple health ailments. Angane parayam. Alla engil I'm writing to introduce Mr. Jane Pagalia, who requires ongoing care and assistance. Full stop. She has multiple health ailments and is being discharged today. That is something that we can introduce. So why I deliberately chose this letter is I want to introduce people with these kind of idea. If already treated, if not to mention any problem. If already treated, then you don't need to mention. But there is a follow-up plan for all the 3 conditions in the discharge plan. So that's why I deliberately chose this letter. I hope you people got an idea, because in the diagnosis, the patient is having 3 conditions, and for all the 3 conditions, they are provided the follow-up plan in the discharge plan. I hope it is clear. Yes. So now let's deal with the rest of the letter. So lives with 80-year-old. So we can start with this medical condition if you want to. On 4th April. When was the admission date? On 4th March 2011. 4th March 2011. So on 4th March 2011, the patient was admitted. How he was admitted? When initially he was in a comatose situation. Comatose situation means in a coma stage, right? So on 4th March 2011, Mrs. Labelia was admitted in a coma. In a coma situation. In a coma. Right? That can be a possible thing, right? And then what happened next? And was admitted in ICU. Ventilated in ICU for 1 week. That is provided there, right? So what we can tell them? So in the introduction, we mentioned as the patient is having multiple health issues. Now in the body paragraph, we have to mention the all 3 condition, right? In the body paragraph, we have to come up with the all 3 condition. So what we can, how we can introduce, when the patient was introduced to the hospital on 4th March 2011, Mrs. Labelia was admitted in a coma. Was admitted in a coma. Coma stage was admitted in a coma. Coma admitted akiyadu. Due to, because of what, for which she was intubated. Yes, La Pagalia was admitted on 4th March 2011 in our facility due to loss of consciousness. Loss of consciousness, comatose parayam or in a coma parayam. Due to, in a coma. Okay, was admitted in a coma due to. What happened for the patient? What happened to the patient? Renal failure secondary to dehydration. So due to dehydration, which led to renal failure. Even though, yes, fine. So endu parayam on 4th March 2011. Or Mrs. Lapagalia was admitted on 4th March 2011 in a coma. Because of what condition? That we have to add there. Due to what condition? Due to dehydration. Due to dehydration, which led to renal failure. Right? Which led to renal failure. So, avarakku endha pattiyadu? Avaru admitted in a coma stage due to, because how she became in a coma stage? Due to dehydration, which led to renal failure, or due to renal failure secondary to dehydration. That is also fine. Okay. And what happened in the ventilate? That is how she was being admitted and given dialysis. What happened? That is the next thing. That's the most important thing. During hospitalization, what happened to her? She had hospital-acquired pneumonia. During hospitalization, what happened to her is she had hospital-acquired pneumonia. So on 4th March 2011, the patient was admitted due to in a coma stage due to renal failure secondary to dehydration. And during hospitalization, what happened? During hospitalization, she had hospital-acquired pneumonia. And confusion post ICU. How we can tell that? And had confusion post ICU also. Hospital acquired pneumonia under post ICU after the shifted to ward. Avarku endu pattittunde, she had confusion also. So avare coma stage il konduvanu due to renal failure secondary to dehydration. And during hospitalization she had a hospital acquired pneumonia as well as confusion. Confusion undayi, pneumonia avarku pidipettu. And what happened? Which were managed conservatively. So what we need to tell them is which were managed conservatively. We can simply tell the management in a you don't need to elaborate that. Which were managed conservatively. And in addition, what is her next level? She had mild dementia. She had mild dementia. That is also something that we can mention. In addition, she had mild dementia. Okay, yes, this is all about the hospitalization part. You can actually what we can tell them, we can actually concise the letter. Needs promoting to eat, drink, ADL and all those things. Family conference മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല. കോമ സ്റ്റേജിലാകുമ്പോൾ ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ അല്ലയോ. സോ എന്ത് നമുക്ക് പറയാം, ഓൺ 4th March 2011 മിസ് ലാ പെഗലിയ വാസ് അഡ്മിറ്റഡ് ഇൻ എ കോമ സ്റ്റേജ് ഡ്യൂ ടു renal failure secondary to dehydration. During hospitalization, she had hospital-acquired pneumonia and confusion as well. In addition, she had mild dementia. And what happened? The family conference conducted. We can mention this particular part also. What is the part? Which were managed conservatively. No sija, adu kayinittu namukku coma venda. I hope it is clear. And on 25th March 2011, family conference was conducted and the patient was decided to shift to a nursing home. And the patient was decided to shift to a nursing home. So we can mention this part also. This is how we can concise that particular part. And straight away we can go for the social history. What about the social history? Mrs. LaPaglia lives with her 80-year-old husband who is not coping with patient care needs. And that's the only social history. And they have very low, they have poor hygiene and nutrition level. Avarku endana both have poor they have poor hygiene and nutrition level. These are the few things that take from the social history. She lives with her husband who is not able to take care of her, and they have poor hygiene and nutrition. That's the only thing that we can mention from the social history part. Then straight away we can go to the discharge plan. It would be appreciated if you could continue oxygen therapy as per oxygen saturation level for Mrs. LaPaglia. Kindly encourage her to be independent, or kindly encourage her to do activities of daily living, and ensure adequate hydration to prevent renal function. Worsening of renal function, to prevent worsening of renal function. And can you please repeat UEC blood test weekly during hospitalization. As for the discharge plan ennu parayam korappamilla, or it would be appreciated if you could provide ongoing care and assistance or ongoing care and support for Mrs. LaPaglia ennu aadyam parayam. Annittu endu parayam, kindly continue her oxygen therapy as per oxygen saturation, and please encourage her to be independent. Please encourage her to do her activities of daily living and ensure adequate hydration to prevent worsening of renal function. Then പിന്നെ എന്ത് പറയാം, it is important to repeat electrolyte, urea and creatinine blood test weekly. So discharge plan is only, you can write it in within 3 sentences. No issues. I hope it is clear. So I will just briefly go for the letter. We mentioned the date, reader's address, salutation and the referral line. And when it comes to the introduction, I am writing to introduce Mr. Jane LaPaglia, who requires continuing care and support. She has because due to multiple health ailments എന്ന് നമ്മൾക്ക് പറയാം. Please make sure to do. Please make sure to. Please make sure പറയാം or kindly പറയാം. We can't say social history. Social historyയിൽ വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടൊന്നും പറയുന്നില്ല. ഹസ്ബൻഡ് ലീവ്സ് അലോൺ, patient needs care, poor hygiene and nutrition അങ്ങനെ പറയുന്നു. Yes, we can start with social history also. That is fine. No issues. Okay, I'll go with the introduction. I'm writing to introduce Mrs. Jane Lapagelia, who requires continuing care and support. Due to multiple health ailments parayam or full stop ittittu as next line you can write she has multiple health issues and is being discharged today. And when it comes to the body paragraph, either you can start with social history or with medical history. Here I started with medical history, so you can tell during on 4th March 2011, that is the admission date. On 4th March 2011, Mr. Lapagelia was admitted in a coma stage due to renal failure secondary to dehydration. During hospitalization, she had hospital-acquired pneumonia and confusion post-ICU. Is that clear? Then she had dementia also. She had mild dementia. That is also fine. And therefore, or ingane parayam on admitted due to renal failure secondary to dehydration. During hospitalization, she had hospital-acquired pneumonia and confusion post-ICU, which were managed conservatively. And on 25th March 2011, yes, coma venam during hospitalization കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്. Yes. And on 25th March 2011, family conference managed conservatively എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അതിനകത്ത് എന്തായിട്ടുണ്ട്, എല്ലാം ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ജസ്റ്റ് ഫിസിയോടെ ഫോളോ അപ്പ് ഒന്നും പറയുന്നില്ലല്ലോ ഡിസ്ചാർജ് പ്ലാനിൽ, അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മളത് മാനേജ് കൺസർവേറ്റീവ്ലി എന്ന് പറയുന്നുള്ളൂ. And on 25th March 2000, if you are writing there also, that is also fine. On 25th March 2011, family conference was conducted and the patient took the decision and decided to shift the patient to a nursing home. And if it is about the medical history, വളരെ സിമ്പിളായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞാലും മതിയാവും. പേഷ്യൻ്റ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഹോമയിൽ വന്നു ഡ്യൂ ടു റീനൽ ഫെയിലിയർ secondary to dehydration. And during hospitalization, she had hospital-acquired pneumonia. And post-ICU, she had confusion as well. Both were managed conservatively. And we had a family conference where we took the decision to shift to a nursing home. Okay. And when it comes to social history, patient lives with her husband who is not able to take care of her, and they have poor hygiene and nutrition. That is about the social history line. And straight away we can go with discharge plan. It would be appreciated if you could provide എല്ലാ പാരഗ്രാഫ് ആകെ അഡ്മിഷൻ ഡേറ്റ് മാത്രമല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ, പിന്നെ വേറെ ഡേറ്റ് ഒന്നും ഇല്ലല്ലോ. സോ അങ്ങനെ അഡ്മിഷൻ ഡേറ്റ് ഇസ് മാൻഡേറ്ററി. So it would be appreciated if you could continue oxygen therapy as per oxygen saturation level for Mrs. Lapagelia. Kindly encourage her to be independent, or kindly encourage her to take care of her, kindly encourage her to do activities of daily living and ensure adequate hydration to prevent worsening of renal function. And please repeat electrolyte, urea and creatinine blood test. That's how the discharge plan. And we can conclude the letter by mentioning, please contact me for further information, full stop. And the last part, yours faithfully. And the designation of the writer is also charge nurse. I hope it is clear. All right, everyone. Yes, not sincerely, yours faithfully, because the name of the writer is not provided. So yours faithfully, charge nurse. I hope it is clear for you people. So that's the end of our today's session. So this particular letter is having different condition. That's why I deliberately took this. So kindly watch. If you have confusion, you can again watch the recorded version that is available in our YouTube and Facebook, and get familiar with these kind of scenarios as well. So thank you so much everyone for being here with me, for your constant comments and support throughout the session. So we'll meet you people on next week with yet another topic. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much.